On the 19th of October in 2015, the people of Canada gave a commanding mandate. The Liberal Party secured a decisive victory in the federal elections. The Liberals won 39.5% of the popular vote. It was the second best performance in the party's history, and Canada was witnessing a political storm. It was a new beginning, and the Liberal Party brought new hope. Canada had picked a new leader, 44-year-old Justin Trudeau. Justin Pierre James Trudeau was born in Canada's capital, Ottawa, in 1971. He's the son of Canada's 15th Prime Minister, Pierre Trudeau. From a very young age, Justin Trudeau saw the chambers of Canada's top political office, and Trudeau decided to follow his father's footsteps of joining politics. Young Trudeau became involved with the Liberal Party throughout the 2000s. By 2007, Trudeau had won the Liberal Party's nomination. Within a year, Trudeau found himself as an opposition leader in the Parliament. In 2015, the political tide in Canada turned in favour of Trudeau. He became the second youngest Canadian to become Prime Minister. Trudeau was seen as the saviour of young Canada, a politician with a lot of promise, someone who wanted to make Canada the leader of the free and liberal world order. In his first few years as Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau promised to do politics differently, and he definitely followed his word. He first tackled gender misrepresentation and inequality. He named a cabinet that had an equal number of men and women. In a first for Canada, Trudeau also brought in 4 leaders who practiced Sikhism into his cabinet. Trudeau also ensured equal pay for men and women. He made the recreational use and possession of marijuana legal, and openly called himself a feminist. In short, Trudeau became extremely popular among the young voters of Canada. He was smart, good-looking, and proficient with Gen Z speak. Trudeau even called himself a Swiftie, a word that's used by followers of the popular singer Taylor Swift. Trudeau was seen as the young and upcoming leader in the West, and he quickly became the face of the liberal world order. The optics at the world stage had done wonders for Trudeau's image. He was seen as a modern leader whose values resonated with young voters. Despite enjoying international fandom, storm clouds against Trudeau had been brewing at home. In 2019, Canada's Ethics Commissioner announced an investigation against Trudeau. The Prime Minister had been named in the persecution of a Canadian company, SNC-Lavalin. Very soon, the SNC-Lavalin affair became a political scandal, and Trudeau was accused of using his office for interfering with the justice system. To top this, photos of Trudeau in brown and blackface became public. He was facing flack from all sides, so he dissolved the parliament and triggered elections. Though the Liberal Party lost 20 seats since taking power in 2015, Trudeau was able to secure a second term as Prime Minister. A year later, the world saw the COVID-19 pandemic. Trudeau saw the implementation of Canada's mass vaccination program. It mandated vaccination for anyone entering Canada, and this led to the Freedom Convoy protests by Canada's truckers. To deal with the protesters, Trudeau did the unthinkable. He invoked the Emergencies Act and declared a public order emergency. This was the first time that the Emergencies Act was used since 1988. It caused Trudeau's approval ratings to take a drastic hit and triggered an anti-Trudeau sentiment in Canada. During his initial years as Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau shared a great rapport with American President Barack Obama. However, things changed the moment Donald Trump became president. Trump and Trudeau started a tariff war against each other. At the same time, Canada's relationship with China deteriorated. This was after Canada detained the chief financial officer of Chinese firm Huawei. Canada's relation with Saudi Arabia also took a hit. But Canada's biggest downgrade in relations happened with India. India has always accused Trudeau of supporting anti-India elements in Canada. These are people that have secessionist ideologies of creating Khalistan. New Delhi has constantly demanded that Ottawa crack down on Khalistani separatists. But Trudeau has remained adamant. He says that Canada stands for freedom of expression. Things went completely downhill this month. Trudeau came to India for the G20 summit. He was completely snubbed by the administration. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi even scolded Trudeau for supporting Khalistani supporters. To make things worse, his official plane suffered a technical snag, and the Canadian Prime Minister had to overstay his welcome. Trudeau went back to Canada with a fractured ego. And then the tantrums began. He accused India of orchestrating the killing of a Canadian on Canadian soil, an accusation that India has called absurd. Trudeau's government even expelled a senior Indian diplomat and launched a campaign to malign India. What did India do? New Delhi also expelled a senior Canadian diplomat. In fact, India even asked Canada to downsize its embassy staff. Then, India suspended visas for Canadians and issued a travel advisory for Indian tourists and students travelling to Canada. Clearly, Justin Trudeau has shot himself in the foot. International support for Trudeau is fading, and so is his domestic fan base. Recent polls show that Trudeau has an approval rating of only 30%. Is this the end of Justin Trudeau? The Prime Minister, who was once the ideal Liberal leader, is now considered a nuisance by Canadians and the world.